Hello and welcome back to my channel, my lovely soul tribe. This is Sahitya here from Soul Goody, and today we're going to take a look at everything that you need to know about your future spouse. What is their characteristic? What is their personality? Whatever that you need to know about them as a person is what we're going to be looking at today. Now, going forward, as you can see, I have three piles in front of me. How this works is whichever pile that you're drawn to, you pick that one pile. So these are the three piles in front of you. This is the guide which says inheritance correction. This is the founder which says foundations, community. This is the chiromancer which says delivering news and collaboration. If you want to pick your piles by the crystals, then I'll go ahead and add the crystals. There you go, you have your crystals. This is for pile number 1, which is the Labradorite tumblestone. We have the Sunstone for the pile number 2. We have the Rose Quartz for pile number 3. You can take your time, meditate upon the cards if you're being called to do that. And you can fast forward to your pile in the timestamps below in the description. So I'm gonna see you in your reading, guys. Hello and welcome to your reading, my lovely pile number 1. This is the card that you chose, which says the guide. And this is the crystal that you chose, which is the Labradorite. Now, before we get into your oracle cards, I would want to see and get some clarity of what your tarot cards would like to say. So we already have kind of like 3 cards popping up. Right off the bat, pile number 1 is that your future spouse is a very kind of a lively person. They really like to be like the star of the show. They want to like really give happiness. I think they're like a very happy person, optimistic soul, and also like a very caring and very nurturing. I think their divine feminine and divine masculine is like so balanced out, but they're like it doesn't really matter if they're a male or a female, but what I'm seeing here is it does look like they have a lot of divine feminine characteristics where it comes to being like emotionally available. They're definitely emotionally available, and they really like to take care of the people around them, and they also want to see the people around them laugh and smile and have a really great time. Also seeing like they're very physically well built and they're a very strong person. It can be physically or even emotionally, all right? So I definitely see that they're very well built. They can be tall and they can be into like fitness and things like that. They might look after their nutrition intake. Okay, I think what I'm seeing here is that your future spouse is like a person who really likes to eat well. They really believe in taking eating something that's really healthy. And I'm also definitely seeing that they belong to the artist world. Okay, so I definitely see with the artist here, I feel like they're a person who really respect art. If you are also an artist, they're really going to respect you, because they also may have some traits, or they might be doing this like literally professionally as well. Now they can be, when it comes to art, it can be anything, right? It can be a dancer, it can be a singer, it can be a literal artist who paints. I think they're definitely in the artisty world here. All right. All what I'm seeing here, pile number one, is before going into your oracle cards, is that they're definitely a person who would be like the star of the show, or like a main spotlight of a party or a gathering. I think they really draw attention towards them, like wherever they go, uh, they don't really mean to do that, like it happens without them even knowing. They may seem a little bit intimidating at first for you, but once you get to know them, it's just like they may look like a very ferocious lion to you in the first, but once you get to know them, they're like very soft inside. They're very nurturing, like the Empress here. They really like to take care of their loved ones and just keep giving. I think they're like a giver. They don't care about receiving much. They just like to give and give. All right, they could also be a Leo here with major sun energy and fire energy, and the sun is also the number one. So the sun is a person who everything revolves around them, and for them, it's like attention is just like an everyday thing for them. And I think you are going to be a person who just don't give like, I think you're in a phase where you don't want to give a lot of attention to anyone, and you're just like you're minding your own business. And when you guys meet and when they actually see you, and I think they're very used to like people falling head over heels for them, but when you see them, you're just like, okay, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. And they fall for that. They actually like that, is what I'm hearing. Okay, we have the space here, and we have peace. Okay, wow. Can you see this? Like the complete opposite energy here. Like it feels like when I saw this, it felt like yin and yang energy to me for some reason. Okay. Kind of intense. So I just want to say that I feel like this whole connection is like very fated. That's definitely there, but I do see there is some things that I'm seeing from your past which is kind of like locked away. You can see like a lot of keys here, and there is a bell. So I think this relationship and this union is like your calling. And no matter what happens in life, this is your sign that you are going to meet them no matter what. Okay, but there is still some some of the things that you need to do about your past, if there is some grudge against your past relationships or just your childhood experiences or traumas. I think there's some work that needs to be done before you meeting your future spouse. All right, but no matter what happens, understand that you're going to meet them no matter what. This is like a very guided and fated connection. I'm also seeing inheritance here. It can be something huge. Okay, you're inherited for something else. I'm feeling like a very royal vibe here where you're going to be wearing like very royal clothes. You're gonna live a lavish life. That's what I'm hearing. Of course, which is with your future spouse. Okay, but there is some correction that needs to be done. Coming to space, I do see that I'm hearing like blank space from Taylor Swift. It's like your past has always been like, I have no one right now, so I'll just get into a relationship with that person. Like, I'm feeling lonely right now, so I'm gonna get into a relationship with that person. Like, I've got a blank space, baby, so I'll write your name. So it's like, okay, it's just like blank, so I'll just write your name. That's the kind of vibe that I'm feeling from your past, and you definitely feel like kind of alone right now. But you're learning how to be in this space. And if you're not, it's time to actually learn how to be in this space. I'm seeing like this, this, I don't know, it's like a sparkle or a star in midst of the abyss, of the dark, dark abyss. And it feels like you really have to sit with your solitude and kind of like absorb and learn from the things that only comes from solitude, only comes from the lessons when you are alone. Okay, be careful of whom you let into your space. That's the kind of advice that I'm getting here. You see that this is your person right now, but I feel like this is what you have in common. You both are really understanding whom you need to put into this space, and you both are really going through that kind of a era or a phase where you both are going through the same thing, where you're understanding whom you should let into the space and kind of learning from your solitude. Coming to peace here, I feel like your person is like a very peace loving person, and they really like quiet stuff. Okay, and they really like to be in like a very quiet space, and they really like to be in like peace. They would choose peace over like feuds and fights. And it's kind of also telling that you are attracting this energy. You are embodying this energy as well, or you're being called to embody this kind of a peaceful energy in a way where you can vibrate in the same kind of a frequency where you can meet your future spouse there. Now, with these cards, I'm seeing major challenge to overcome. So I do see that your future spouse is going through something here in their life, and they're kind of like growing from the situation, and they're like, just as the space, like I think you both are going through the same thing, and there is marriage here. So this is no doubt, and I don't have to explain anything, that marriage is literally written for you both. Like you will marry. Like it's like ironic, I'm doing about a future spouse reading and the marriage card comes out. So if you're like doubting, like is it going to be like a short term, like what's going to happen, no, this is the person that you're going to marry. Coming to the next card, which says you will be shown the way. I think your future spouse is a very spiritual person as well, and I definitely see that they really like to give. I think they'll be like a person who will give you a lot of flowers, they'll gift you candles, and they're also very spiritual, is what I'm feeling. And they also like to travel, they love traveling a lot. Like they're like a very grounded person. Like they really like when you're with them, it feels like so peaceful. Like you don't even have to act, you don't even have to try to do anything. Like it's just like so calming and relaxing. You don't even have to listen to ASMR or something like that. It's kind of like that kind of an energy what I'm getting here. So it says, with the candle, it says you will be shown the way. So it feels like this meeting is like destined. You, like your future spouse is currently on their way to your life. Like if you're ever doubting like where the heck are they, they're coming, they're definitely coming. Like this is like a destined and fated relationship, and it'll happen in the most divine timing. You don't have to worry about when it's going to happen. Now with the boat here, which says money or property through an inheritance, winning, or windfall. Like I said, can you see that? This says inheritance and that says inheritance as well. Cannot even. Wow, okay. So I think you and your future spouse are really meant to become rich together, or they might be a very they might come from a very successful background. Their family might be really successful, or their family might be rich, or this person is a very rich. I'm sorry if I'm coming out too materialistic, but that is the truth. I feel like they're doing really well off in their career. They can be like a leader, or they can be a businessman or an entrepreneur, or whatever comes to mind when it comes to like the boss, like the boss lady, the boss man. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting. And there is a September here. So this September is going to be a very important month for you and your future spouse. It can be a month where you both are going to meet each other, or it can be a very important month. It doesn't have to mean a certain thing. So just kind of be open to it. That's what I'm saying for you, pile number one. I really hope that this reading was insightful for you, and I'm going to see you in my next one. Bye bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number two. If this is your pile, the card, the founder, and the Sunstone. Before we get into your oracle card and its meaning, we're going to take a look at what your tarot card wants to say. What is their personality like, their characteristic like? Okay, we have the Four of Swords right off the bat. I think this one. We have the Well here. Oh my god, and we have the Six of Wands. Okay, and in the back of the cards, we have the Five of Cups. So, what I'm being drawn to is the founder, the foundations, and the community. And I feel like the foundations have not been all nice and, beautiful. Like, I feel like they're a person who's really been through a lot in life. And I'm hearing that they had to literally burn down. They had to literally, can you see how they're like building something? They're building like all the foundation, but before building it, they had to literally break all their foundations and rebuild it again to come how far they have come. Okay, I feel like this is like a very powerful person, to be really honest. And I definitely see that your person, I feel like your person has had a lot to hear from the communities or like the society or like relatives or whatever, whoever were around them. Like they had to constantly listen to like, you can't do this, you can't do that. And they had to really like stand against that and really show what they are. And they've come from a very dark space. They are a person who's had their own hardships with the Five of Cups here, and it feels like it's not very nice. I can feel like the energies here, and it feels like kind of heavy. It feels like they've been through a lot. They've definitely been through a lot. They've been let down. They've lost a lot of things in life. They've lost a lot of people in life. Okay, and to build whatever they have now, they took a lot of efforts. Oh my god, I think in your eyes, they're going to be like the strongest person that you have ever met. When you meet them, you're going to be like, okay, wow, I've never met someone like you. That's something you're going to be telling them. And And to be really honest, when you meet them first, it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like they've had these hardships in life. I think when you first meet them, they will be kind of reserved, they will be kind of shy, or they will be like confided in themselves. They would be like kind of like very reserved kind of a feeling. But as you get to know them, I'm feeling like a very contradicting energies here for some reason. Like they can be an ambivert. Okay, they can be like an introvert and an extrovert depending on who they are with. And I definitely see that they are a leader of some sort. They're really doing well in their life. They're doing well in their career. They have achieved that kind of a success in their life. And it did not, mind you, it did not come easy. I feel like this person is going to be your dream come true. I'm being brought to this movie, this kind of a scene in Snow White, where the Snow White kind of is like in front of the well, and she's like kind of singing to the well, and she's like kind of, it's kind of manifests in a way, like she manifests through the song, and she'll be in front of the well, and she'll act like it's a wishing well, and she'll look into the water, and she'll be like singing a song, and as soon as she looks up, she will have her person right beside her, and it's none other than the prince. And I don't know why I was brought to that story, but I feel like you have wished for this kind of person for a long, long time. Maybe you've been daydreaming about this person. You've been praying to God for this person. And this person is everything you ever wished for in within the well. Like when I'm seeing their personality, their characteristics, I'm not seeing much except for them being stern and a little bit of stubborn. They can be a little stubborn, and they would be a little bit of a workaholic. Okay, they can be pretty busy in life, and they could be going on about here and there and here and there because they really want to do something in life. They really want to achieve something in life. But other than that, what I'm seeing here is that the whole personality, the whole characteristic literally fits and checks all of your like boxes. That's what I'm hearing. Like they are everything you wished for. They're definitely a person who has a lot of support. Definitely a person who has a lot of support in life, like they would have a community, they would have like a certain set of friends that really, really love them. And they are like a very, it's like again contradicting. They also have friends, they are also outgoing, but at the same time, they're very introverted. Coming back to caution here, I definitely feel like something is not right in their life, especially when it's come under the Four of Swords. I feel like they're really being a little bit of hard on themselves. Like, I think they're very much stern on this success. They're very much stern on this goal, and they really like, they don't care if they're burnt out, or they don't really care, honestly. It's like, they're doing it so much, they're trying to prove everyone wrong so much that they've actually forgotten about how tired it's making them feel. And it's like kind of like a caution card here, where it's kind of telling me that, of course, I don't know how to how to relay this message to them because it's you here, but maybe you needed to kind of know this message. Or maybe when you are going to meet this person, you're really being brought to kind of relay this message to them, like, hey, you can slow down. And maybe you are this person who's going to really help them like calm down a little bit and take some rest, understand that they are burnt out. And I'm seeing here within the intuition that this person definitely does have psychic abilities. They do have a lot of intuition. Like, I feel like this person will understand everything about you. Like, you don't even have to say, sometimes they will just understand what you want or what are you thinking. Like, sometimes, like when you're talking and they just like kind of complete the sentence. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting here, where it kind of feels like very divine. Like, you're just gonna be like, okay, wow, how did you know that? Or why haven't you met me? Like, where have you been all my life? That's kind of vibe that I'm getting. It feels like a really good balance and a really good match. Like, if you're going to be an extroverted ambivert, they are going to be an introverted ambivert. So, just giving an example, so it's going to be like very balanced out kind of a situation here. I think this is coming from a place where they're really very successful in life. Okay, you can be drawn to pile number one. If not, it's okay. But if you were drawn to pile number one, you can go ahead and check the pile. But I just felt so. But what I'm seeing here is that this person is really well off, and they really, really work really hard. They have worked very hard, and they're even now they're working really hard. Even though they have built all this, they're like, I'm gonna build more, I'm gonna build better, I'm gonna become the better version of myself. I think they're also very well off in terms of their career. They can be a kind of a leader, or they're doing very well in life. They can be an entrepreneur, they can be a business person. Okay, so we have the family wishes. Yeah. Would you look at that? Oh my god, okay. So we have the family wishes here. We also have the well here, so we have the well twice. Wow. Okay, I feel like something related to the well. I think you will be brought to a wishing well of some sort, and it also kind of represents your wish is going to come true. Like, whatever you wish for in terms of a future spouse, that has come true now, and it's coming to you. And there is also the hand which says in need of help, assistance and guidance. I think that's the thing. I feel like you both are meant to meet each other. I think there is a greater purpose to this union. You both are really kind of like meant to hold hands, and like you kind of help this person, and your person is going to help you, and there is some kind of like a growing that I can see together. I think you both are going to be like the biggest backbone to each other, which will in turn to this guaranteed success. Like, I feel like you both are meant for something so big, which I can almost hear like it's written in the stars. There is also the oops. There is also the October here. There is also the October here. So, October can be a very important month for you. You can meet your person in this month, or it doesn't have to be that. It can be that it's a very important month for your relationship. We also have intuition again. I think you both are very spiritual, or you both have like some kind of a psychic ability. Like, I'm hearing like something like telepathy. You might see them in your dreams. Your future spouse has also dreamt of you. That's something that I'm hearing. And somehow it also feels like you've met them before. It can be like in another life you have met them. This can be a past life relationship, or you may have met them and you may have not recognized them. Or you may have recognized them as well. Just take it how it resonates. I also see that this person has beautiful eyes. They have beautiful eyes. I can also see that this person has like a very light textured, light colored hair. They have like a very light colored hair. It can be blonde, somewhere to blonde. Just take it how it resonates. It can be a blonde color, or it can be the lightish brown, or dark browns too. Hazel browns is what I'm hearing. Okay, let's see if anything else that is coming through. I'm also hearing like building empires together. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Like, I'm hearing like you're going to build empire. You're going to build your own empire together. I'm also kind of seeing that this person is very connected to their family. Like, they're a very family kind of a person. Okay, I think something has happened also in the area of their family. Something regarding the past where it's really hurt them. They could have lost a family member. Something along those lines. That's all I'm saying for you, pile number 2. I really hope that this reading was insightful for you, and I'm going to see you in your next one. Bye bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 3. This is your pile if you chose the Chiromancer card and the rose quartz crystal. Before diving into your oracle cards, let's take a look at what does your tarot cards have to say. Yeah, we have the Page of Wands. We have the Nine of Pentacles. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. Wow. Knight of Swords in the back of the deck. So, what I'm seeing here right off the bat within the Chiromancer, which also says delivering news and collaboration, and also with the Page of Wands here. What I'm feeling here is pile number 3 that your person can be a person who is in media for some reason. Your person can be in media, like this person has a kind of a job that is the person is in the kind of a job where they have to talk a lot. It can be something to do with news anchoring, something that is in the media. Like they really talk a lot. That's what I'm seeing. Like they are like a kind of a messenger here. They could also be a part of a social media influencer, or they can be really famous on social media. Like I'm being brought to an image where they're just like talking. They're talking and giving like value to the audience or to the world. They give like a lot of value to the world. They can be a very nature lover. I feel like they are very different from the world. They like to think different. They're not like the kind of a person that follows the crowd. They are their own unique kind of a person. They like to think differently. They like to make decisions, which is very different. They're very determined also. They can also come off as a very stubborn person, but it's like in a good kind of a stubborn. Okay. For some reason, I'm being brought to like they can love animals or like the farm life. They really like to be in the nature more. Okay, and they may also have like a dream where in the future they may want to like kind of leave everything behind and go buy a farm and like um kind of just be there and plant plants and trees and grow their own vegetables and things like that. That's the kind of energy I'm getting here, pile number 1. And I'm also seeing like they are the first to do something. I don't know why. I think they're a very unique person. Very unique. Like whatever they're doing is like very out of the box. Like the people wouldn't actually expect, okay, like when you meet them, you wouldn't expect them to do that kind of a thing. When they tell you, like, hey, you know what, I did that, I'm doing this right now, and you're just gonna be like, oh my god, really, I never expected you to do that. Something out of the box, like they give like a very unexpected, surprising kind of a vibe. Every time you talk to them, they're just gonna be like throw bombs at you. You're just gonna be like so shocked, like, oh my god, I didn't know you were gonna say that right now. Like they're very different. They're very different, and it feels like just take it how it resonates. For some of you guys, for some of the collective, this person is going to be younger to you, okay? But for the other collective, I am also definitely seeing that they're going to be elder to you as well. Just take it how it resonates. So I'm also seeing them as a very independent soul. I think that's obviously called for of by far of whatever I just said right now. They're definitely they like it their way. Like it's like my way, my life, like my rules. You know, they really like to they can be a rule breaker of some sort. Okay. One thing I'm definitely seeing is they're very knowledgeable in terms of finances. They can be into, investments or anything that is related to investments, finances, stock market, anything related to that. They can be very knowledgeable around that area. They could also be investing in some kind of they could be an investor as well, but as a main thing, I do definitely see them as a very good communicator. They really know how to communicate, they really know how to talk. When they're in a crowd or when they're in a community, they really know what they're talking about and they know their stuff. And I can definitely see that right now in this phase, no matter when you're seeing this, it's like a timeless reading. But they are right now in a phase where they are achieving new ventures, new environment, they're meeting new people. They're in a very new era right now. Let's go ahead and look at your other oracle cards. We have the sweetness here and we have the rejection. Okay, wow, okay. And we have the sweetness here, which kind of like is straight to the point. I feel like they're a very sweet person. They really like to take care of you. They really like to give you gifts. Like I'm seeing them like getting you a candy. I'm seeing them like giving you something. Like I'm seeing them helping you even materialistically, or it does not have to be honestly only materialistically. They can give you like really good advice in terms of finances, or I'm just seeing them like keep bombarding you with like gifts. They are like a very well mannered person. It's like the kind of vibe that I'm like pulling the chair for you so that you can sit down, opening the door so that you can get in. These small gestures, which is like so sweet. That's the kind of person that I'm getting here. With the rejection here, I feel like they only like to give it, they only like to be sweet, they know whom to be sweet to. Okay, they are not sweet with everyone. They may they may come off as a very rude person sometimes, or very kind of like a ruthless, or not ruthless, that's like a big word, but you know what I mean. They come off like this person who's like very intimidating, but they are like that because they know whom to be what with whom. They kind of know, they kind of change their characters. If for example with you they're like this really sweet little puppy where they just like give you like those puppy eyes, and they're just like so cute and all over the place. They're like very like crazy types, but they give off like a very young energy. So what I'm seeing here is this person is definitely like a very contradicting energy as well. Why I said as well is because of pile number one. If you're also attracted to pile number one, you can go ahead and see that reading as well. There can be some messages there, but if not, it's okay. But what I'm seeing here is they know how to be like, they give off that young carefree vibes, like, oh my god, I don't give a hell, I don't care, I'm just gonna dance right now, I'm gonna scream, like in a good way of course, but they're like very lively, but they know when to do that. but it's like they know when to be that person. But the other times they're like this very serious, determined person, like this Knight of Swords. They are like they seem very serious and they seem very like stern. Um, that's what I'm saying. Like they know how to switch. They know how to be this character where they have to be this character. It's like, can you see this kind of a contradiction? They're like very sweet, but they know when to say no to such people. People also may say that, oh my god, they have such attitude and stuff like that, but honestly, they have learned to become that person. It's like their tactic. They're very smart, to be really honest, they're very smart. And they're like a very goal oriented person. It's like once they make up their mind that I have to do that, they will do that. It's like they're not like a procrastinator or something like that. They're not lazy, or they're not like it's fine, I'll do it tomorrow. It's not like that. If they get this kind of an idea in their mind, they will do it right away. Okay, like I said, bouquet, which says compliments from an admirer, it really does look like they really they really love gifting anything. They really love to give you gifts. They like to like bombard you with compliments and um, kind of just say that you're so beautiful, you're so kind, and they really know how to kind of work with their words. You know, they really know. It's, I think they're like words are like their power. It seems like a very sorted person, bro. I don't know why I'm getting like this. Like I feel like they're very clear in their head. They are so clear that they're so intelligent that even if a person comes and tells that no, you're wrong, they're gonna be like, they're gonna give the kind of things, they're gonna list out the things that to why am I right? I am right, and maybe you're giving out these lists. You're giving out these lists that I'm wrong, but I'll let you know that why am I right, like in a very calming and sweet way as well. But that comes off as very intimidating to people. I hope you understood what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to explain this kind of an energy. Like I'm feeling it, but I don't know how to tell it out of my mouth. They're very good with their words. They're very good. Oh my god. They can literally it's like they can convince anybody to do anything. Not like in a manipulative way, but it's like a very to their own benefits. It's like a very good life skill almost, which is like so useful. We have the involvement with law here. So it does seem like your person or your person's family was involved in some kind of the law, or they can be a lawyer as well. Oh wow, that also makes sense because the lawyer has to speak a lot, or anything related to the law. They can be doing a kind of work that is like very legal, or their family could be in this kind of a work area. Okay, or they're very well educated about the law. I'm telling you, I feel like this person is very educated. They're very knowledgeable about a lot of things. It's like you could just talk about the trees and they're gonna be like, they can talk to you about the trees for hours and hours. It's like they're gonna be like, you know, the roots like go like that, and do you know that trees communicate to each other, and they're just going to be like just blabbering about anything you say. It's kind of like that energy. So it says bread here, which says period of prosperity and abundance. So, like I said, they are in a phase where they're in this new phase where they're entering this new phase, and they are eventually going to get into this period of prosperity and abundance. They're already, to be really honest, they're actually doing really well in terms of the materialistic side. Because of the Nine of Pentacles here, they're very financially independent, but they do have certain dreams and things and goals. It's like their goals never end. They could have like certain bucket list also where they really want to fulfill it with you in their life. Like they randomly they're going to be like, hey, I have these, dreams, and I have these checklists and bucket lists that I really want to do with you. And it's like never ending. After like one bucket list, they're going to be like 100 more. And I think you really have to be get ready for that, honestly. I just heard like, don't worry, I'm gonna take care of you. Like, don't worry, I'm gonna take care of that. No matter what happens, I feel like your future spouse gives a kind of an energy where no matter what, they're gonna take care of it. No matter what happens in life, even if it's like the most smallest thing that happened, they're going to be like, I'm gonna take care of that. You don't even have to worry about it. Yeah. You will be playing a different role. Yeah. So they really know how to switch roles. For some reason, they really know how to switch roles. Now, if you feel like, why I feel like you're talking about me, like if you feel like I'm talking about you, that means you and your future spouse always have a mirrored energy, so you can always take how it resonates. But what I feel here is that your future spouse really knows how to switch roles, like how I explained here with the Page of Wands and the Knight of Swords and the sweetness and the rejection. And I'm also saying that your life is about to change. When you meet this person, you eventually will change with them. There is something in them that like makes you become a different person. Like for example, because of these huge huge as bucket lists that they have, you will have to get accustomed to the life they're going to live with you. Like, oh my god, I have like a scuba diving bucket list, you have to come with me. And sometimes you may have to face your fears. If you have a fear of the ocean, or if you have a fear of the heights, and it's like they kind of like healing you somewhere. They're making you adapt into somebody you're not, but it's kind of like in a very good and a healing kind of a way. Yeah, can you see it says spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding? Exactly. I feel like this person is so, how do I say, they're so wise. Like they give me like the hermit vibe. Also with the torch here, like the hermit always has a torch, and the torch always represents like the wisdom and the enlightenment. It feels like they're really going to enlighten you about a lot of things about life. They're going to really expose you to a lot of things that you didn't know about, or they're really going to heal the parts that you never knew that needed healing. And it's going to happen like so effortlessly. It's not going to happen like in a forced, it's not going to happen like a forced way whatsoever. It's going to happen very like in the flow. It's going to happen in the most beautiful flow that you can ever imagine. Is like, I don't feel like, I don't see in any card that it feels like, oh my god, why are they doing this to me? No. It's like it happens in the most divine timing, and you yourself is going to be like, oh my god, I didn't know I needed that. It's kind of like that. I feel like they're the kind of character that changes you for the better. in terms of spirituality, in terms of physical, your physical body, your mental mind, your emotional mind, everything. Like for example, if you're not a person who likes to exercise, or you don't eat such healthy food, once you meet them, they are going to make you like do all of those things, like even without you even knowing when did that even happen. Like you're going to be like, oh wow, I just happen to be like eating an avocado. How did that even happen? Like I don't do this. It's just like so. Yeah, it's kind of like fascinating to me, this relationship. Honestly, I would want to dive deeper, but it's just going to like kind of the video the video is just going to kind of stretch. So yeah, I hope we do that in the next reading, hopefully, and kind of do it like an episode kind of a thing, because I am really intrigued and like kind of nosy about all the piles. So yeah, I really hope that this reading was insightful for you, and I'm gonna see you in my next one. Bye bye.